Hi everyone, how are you all? So today in this session of ours, we will be talking about vocabulary. Every time we think about vocabulary, I every time I meet students, I talk to them, I see, ma'am, we are facing so much of difficulty in learning vocabulary. I'm not able to learn. कैसे learn करे, कितना learn करे, vocabulary is always a problem for like most of us. We are not able to memorize vocabulary. We are not able to learn vocabulary because there are so many words. There are a lot of words. So I always say that learning vocabulary is like an ocean. You dive deep into it, but there's no way of you coming out of it. Now, today in this session, we'll be talking about what a basic approach of a student has to be towards vocabulary. Because see, now in every exam, whichever you appear in today's time, almost 70% of your paper is your vocabulary and 30% of your paper is either RC or it's grammatical. So vocabulary plays very important role into it. Now, when it's about what our approach has to be, so today in this session I will be talking about the root words technique, and then I'll be taking you through कि vocabulary simply आपका antonyms या synonyms के form में नहीं आता. vocabulary आने के different तरीके हो सकते हैं, right? Normally antonym and synonym के form में जरूरी नहीं है कि vocabulary आ गया. They can be in the form of analogy, they can be in the form of word play. So many patterns of vocabulary they people can ask, put questions in your exam. Now, let's move toward our session. Let me talk about how difficult and easy vocabulary becomes when you are very thorough with your root words. Like for an exam, root words का मतलब क्या है? See, let's say you have a complete word with you. Let's say a complete vocabulary with you. Now, there are two ways in which root words can appear in a vocabulary. पहला, they can be given in the form of prefix, as in word के पहले एक word है जो दिया होगा आपको. अगर prefix नहीं दिया है, so vocabulary में root word can be given to you in the form of suffix also. As in, पूरा vocabulary था, at the last they gave you a word which was working as a suffix for us. Now, how easier it is for us to if we just memorize root words, क्या हमारी vocabulary बहुत ज़्यादा easy बनेगी या थोड़ा easy बनेगी? Let's look into it. जैसे, if I ask you guys, do you know the meaning of demophobia? Now, the moment I'm going to write demophobia, many of you would be like, demophobia, सुना तो नहीं है कभी. We are not aware of the meaning. नहीं आता. Now, there is a technique to learn this. Actually, it's completely a root word का खेल. Okay, you are not aware of demophobia. Guys, how about if I ask you what is the meaning of democracy? Do you know the meaning of democracy? You immediately would be like, yes, we know in India because we have the government of democracy. How we learn it? See, if you look carefully, this word is formed with two different words. One word of yours is demo. All you need to know is demo stands for the people and phobia stands for fear. Now, can I guess the meaning? Of course. So, demophobia would be fear of people. Right? Similarly, there are words like if I talk about nyctophobia. So, nycto for night, phobia for fear. Fear of night. Similarly, if I talk about acrophobia, you would like, I have, a lot of people have that acrophobia. So, acro is for height, phobia is for fear. So, people, लोग जिनको height का डर होता है, so they are called to have acrophobia. Hydrophobia, hydra for water, phobia for fear, fear of water. Becoming easier for us, claustrophobia. You'd have seen a lot of times people say, oh, I'm claustrophobic, मुझे claustrophobia है. Now, what do they mean when they say claustrophobia है? So, cluster means compactness, phobia is for fear. So, people who have the fear of compactness are said to have claustrophobia. Similarly, there are a lot of words. You would have heard about the word mal, right? Now, mal, all you need to know is that if this mal word comes, it always stands for something which is your wrong, bad, evil, curse, disease. Whenever this mal comes, it will give you the meaning related something to that. For example, malady, if you have heard, I'm not talking about melody, it's malady. So mal word aaya, so malady is basically for a disease, right? For a bimari. Then you would have seen malicious. सॉफ्टवेयर आपका करप्ट हो जाता है कंप्यूटर में, सो उधर भी मैल वायरस आपका होता है. सो मैल इज फॉर द बैड. Similarly, related to mal, we have a word called meli. If I write a word called mellifluous, अभी तो बहुत भारी भरकम word लग रहा है. I'm not able to guess what mellifluous is. But if I know the meaning of meli, I can guess the meaning of the full vocabulary which is given to me. Because meli means good and sweet. So mellifluous means soft sounding, a nice sounding word we are talking about. Similarly, like meli, we can talk about your circumvent, circumference, circumcircular. So many words are like this. Circum, it stands for something in the sense of roundabout, गोल गोल घूमने की जब आप बात करते हो, right? So this is how root words really make your vocabulary very easy, like really very easy for us. Now let's do a couple of more words with the use of vocabulary, with the use of root words, and then a few questions, right? I hope you all are ready with me, so let's get started. Now the first root word for us is your belly. You often would have heard words like rebel, bellicose, belligerent, because bellicose and belligerent are those two words which always you will find in your exam. हमेशा मिलता है, right? अभी bellicose, belligerent, antebellum, rebel, अभी we'll see the list of the words also. किधर भी कहीं भी किसी भी फॉर्मेट में आ जाए, I do not need to worry about it. All I have to think is belly का मतलब क्या होता है. That's it. And I'll be able to eliminate my options and I'll be able to get to the correct meaning of the word. So belly always stands for something which gives you the meaning of warlike. Or when you talk about harsh or angry nature of something. Right? Let's see a few words from this. Like bellicose. I may not know the meaning of the full word bellicose, but I do know the meaning of belly. It means warlike. So bellicose means aggressive and warlike. Belligerent, which stands for hostile, right? Ready to fight. A person who's always like ready to fight. Oh yeah, बताते हैं रुको अभी हम, like that. Rebel. Again, bell word is there. Bell or belly is the same word. So rebel, you can relate. A person who opposes, ready to, warlike, ready to fight always, ready to oppose the boundaries. Similarly, antebellum. Bell means war. Ante means pehle, before a war. That's it. Isn't the vocabulary becoming easier with the root words, guys? It is. Now, let's go and see the other word that we have from the root words. So the next word that I have brought for you people is your ambi. Now, what does the word ambi stands for? Ambi means both we are talking about. As in, for the example, you would have heard the word ambidextrous. So ambi means both. Dexterous means, it's writing, like you would have seen. There are a lot of people who are capable of writing with both hands, right? A person who's capable of writing, able to write from right hand also and from left hand also, is your ambidextrous person. So both left and right. Ambiguous. So ambi means both. Guous means doubtful. So a person who is not able to figure out or is able to take the right decision is called to be an ambiguous person or to have an ambiguous quality, right? Like I'm ambiguous to choose if I have to eat pizza or if I have to go for burger, right? So that's ambiguous. Doubtful. Ambivalent. Now, ambivalent means having both positive and negative feeling. I'm ambivalent, ऐसा नहीं है, but like positive and negative, I have both feelings. So you're being ambivalent. Ambivert. You would have seen there are some people who are introvert, who do not speak much. There are some people who are very extrovert, like choppy person who speak a lot. Then comes your ambivert. person who's a mixture of both, ambivert and extrovert, sorry, introvert and extrovert. जिधर जिधर उनको लगता है कितना बोलना चाहिए, so they speak, otherwise they do not. Ambilingual, fluent in 2 languages, as in I am an ambilingual person. If I wish to say I know Hindi, I know English, so I can be called ambilingual person. Now, अभी इतने सारे words थे. If I would not have been aware of the root words, I pretty well know solving these words or vocabulary would have been a difficult task for me. But the moment I know that root word, maybe it doesn't matter how many words are given to me, with that words, I am able to decode them and I'm able to solve them. Now, the next word comes like your side. Side stands for killing or to kill. Like insecticide. Now, side is for killing, insecticides is for insect, right? Killing of insects is called insecticides. Sororicides. All you need to know is sorori word stands for sister and side is for killing. So, sororicide means killing of one's own sister. जब आप खुद की सिस्टर को मार देते हो, that's called sororicide. Anyway, that's not good. Now, suicide. Sui is like for self, khud ki, own, right? Side is for killing. So when you kill yourself, that's suicide. Now, other words are, we have genocide. Side is for killing. Geno is for a race or for a group, a complete group when we talk about. Regi is for king. Side is for killing. So killing of a king is called as regicide. Patricide. So patri word is for father. So killing of one's own father is called as patricide. Similarly, fratricide. So fratry, like sorority word stands for sister, fratry word stands for brother, patri stands for father, and then your other words geno. So they all stands for the killing, and there are a lot more variety of killing list. So we have now. I'll take you through couple of questions of vocabulary which will give you an idea what sort of questions you can be asked from the vocabulary, right? So here you have your first question. It says, choose the word which is most nearly the same to the meaning venerate. Now, venerate, you have to go for the synonym. Now I'll tell you. See, rating, when you rate people, right? Ven is a word that stands for respect or that stands for liking somebody, right? So venerate means when you respect somebody. That has to be your D, right? This vain word is for worship or for deep respect. Because पुराने जमाने में जब आप vain करते थे, तो you used to worship somebody. Now, similarly, the next question for ours is this one. It says, choose the word which is opposite in meaning to the word audacious. You'd have heard people saying, how dare you to have that audacity? How dare you to talk to me like that? Right? Audacity, auda, himmat, courage ki baat karte ho jab aap. Now the words are easier. Cowardly is a person who's very darpoke sa. Venture we all know, right? Here, so that has to be your cowardly because we had to go for opposites. Also, your audacity comes from the word audere, which is a Latin word which means to dare. Audere, how dare you to talk to me like that? Okay, one thing to you guys, in most of the cases you would have seen that people use audacity in a negative way. Let me warn you here, audacity is a word which can be used in both positive sense also and in negative sense also. So you have to be a little cautious when you're using this word. Now, moving on to the other question, which is this one. Do not forget to read the directions. They say, in the question, each option has a pair of words. Each pair consists of words which are more or less similar in meaning, right? However, one pair is the wrong one and the odd one. So, देखो, for this is a question of vocabulary only, because until and unless we do not know the meaning of the options of the vocabulary, we would not be able to solve them. So, out of 4, 3 are synonyms, 1 is antonym. All we have to do is we have to go for the pair which is antonyms ka pair. Now, danger, peril, luxury and pleasure. अभी एक चीज बोल सकते हैं, easier for us is luxury and pair. Luxury, pleasure, synonyms हैं. This will not be my answer. Now, similarly, if I talk about danger and peril, if I go, कितने गया? Okay, yeah. See, अभी danger and peril. If I talk about something is in danger, threat की बात कर रहे हो. Peril again is the peril, possibility, danger. ऐसा बात कर रहे होते. So they both mean risk, threat or possibility to harm. So they will not be now. Infringe and break again are your synonyms, as in somebody infringes upon your right, right? To take, to break, in that sense. Because infringe means to violate, maybe a rule, a law, or a right. Break also means to violate. You break laws, right? Synonyms hai. So can I say indulge and deny? Indulge means, if I say that I gave him too much indulgence. So when you allow somebody to interfere into a matter, that's indulge. And deny is, refuse karna. So the next question is this. Okay. Again, we have to read the directions. It says in this question, word pair consists of words which are opposite in meaning to each other. Select the pair which consist of words which are not opposites. So abhi pata chala, here we have to go for what? We have to go for synonyms, right? Now, in the previous question, we were told to find the pair which was of antonyms. Here we are told to find the pair of the words which is synonym. Let's see. Excitable and calm, exquisite and delight, numb and active, obnoxious and free. Numb, a person who's very lazy, lethargic, not moving much. Active, ye nahi hoga. Like they are opposite pairs. Now, similarly, excitable and calm. Calm is a very calm person. Excitable is a person who's very aggressive, a person who can be, you can poke very easily. So that will not be my answer. So either it has to be second and fourth. Also, one more thing, guys, if the root word calm aega, देखो, ob, obdurate, obnoxious, whenever you have any vocabulary ka word where you have ob as a prefix, so in that case, ob in most other cases gives you the negative connotation. It stands for the negative thing. And free is a positive word. Can I say this will be my answer? Of course. Now, exquisite, extremely beautiful, something that is very finely made is called as your exquisite thing. Now, let's move to other. Of course, obnoxious come. Synonyms are your unpleasant, offensive, right? Okay. Now, let's go and see if we have other question. Yes, it says, all you have to do, find a statement where the word has been used correctly. The word is your tantamount. To leave a pet home alone is tantamount to cruelty. Overlooking state norms tantamounts to a crime. His refusal to answer was tantamount to an admission of guilt. All are correct. When I read all three statements, I was able to notice one thing, that all of them are sounding very right. Like if you notice in all of the 4 questions, tantamount ekdam correct lag raha hai, right? It seems like har jagah correctly used hai. Now, let's see how and what it should be different. Dekho. Incorrectly, it should be not correctly. It should be incorrectly, right? Where it has been used incorrectly. Now, it has to be the second one, because we never say tantamount. See, S or ES we are able to add in the verb, but tantamount is not a verb actually. So here in this question it has to be tantamount. So S remove करेंगे. Now मतलब क्या है tantamount का? अभी ये देखो. It stands for equivalent in seriousness or effect, virtually the same as, it is always used in the structure. This is important, guys. Tantamount to plus noun or gerund. Gerund means verb ka ing form we are talking about. So tantamount is equivalent in seriousness, equal you can say. Now in the B1, here it's working as an adjective of course, so you cannot use S or ES in this. Now all you needed to know was tantamount never works as what? It never works as verb. Now moving on to the next question that we have with us here is your agog, one of the very pyara word that we can say. Now agog, I'll tell you, it stands for something when you talk about being very happy, excited, you know, a feeling of agog, feeling of very excitement and happiness when you say. Now look at the words. The very first word says the boys were all agog to see their parents. She was all agog at the surprise announcement. The victory set the whole state agog with excitement. Happiness, parents ko dekh ke bhi they will be happy. Here also they are going to be happy. Can I say all of my statements are correct? Yes. So my answer has to be fourth one. Also, if I go for the structure, agog means being very excited, you know, eager, amazed. And if I go for the formation of it, it says agog to plus verb, agog at plus noun, right? So you, when you said agog, someone agog. So that was it, guys. I hope now you would have gotten an idea from my side at what actually are root words, how and in how many formats you can get questions of vocabulary, what your approach has to be. So again, I'm saying try breaking vocabulary in the root words, in the pattern of root words, let's say prefix or suffix, if that's possible. Even if that's not working for you, then in that case, our vocabulary you can relate according to sound, try eliminating, you can take the help of grammar, but you have to find tricks and you have to learn vocabularies as much as possible to clear your exam, because when we talk about verbal, vocabularies really are very important and they play great role. So that's it, guys, from my side. Thank you so much. Now we'll meet in the next session. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.